can learn how to teach by teaching. You find out, what do I do the first day of school? How do I set up a room? What do I do about planning a curriculum? How do I plan a lesson? Then how do I deliver that lesson? What do I do the last day of school? How do I say goodbye to the children? How do I pack up a room? How do I order for the next year? You're going to learn all of that in 1 year, and you're going to be prepared.
When I came into this year, I loved kids. I can honestly say I'm leaving loving to teach. And I think that's a true difference. And anyone who is coming into a program like this, I think there is a yearning and a desire to learn how to teach and what teaching is, because you don't really know until you're in the classroom. And so I've really found a love for teaching that I'm really excited about.
Spending a year in a classroom or in a school as opposed to a semester of student teaching, which the traditional programs tend to do, really gives the students an opportunity to get immersed in the culture of a school and to learn what it's like to live in a school for a full year.
Working in the collaborative program fully prepared me to be a teacher. Anything that a teaching assistant would be expected to do, I was expected to help out with as an intern, working one-on-one with students, talking with parents, discussing with teachers, curriculum activities. It enabled me to find my voice in the classroom and to really feel comfortable and confident knowing that I could do that on my own, since I had already had those experiences in an internship program.
We often hear from people that the students who come out of these programs come out as though they were second-year teachers rather than just beginning teachers. And that gives them a tremendous hiring advantage.
Everything that we talked about applied literally to what I was seeing and doing every day in my classroom. Learning about phonics or learning about ELL students, and then being able to actually take that back to the school here and apply it to what I'm learning and teaching and actually implement some of the things that I'm learning as the year goes on is really great.
It's the same as if you are a full-time teacher, but you don't have the full responsibilities. Instead, you have a mentor teacher that is taking you through day by day.
They really become not only a mentor, but they become a friend, someone who you look up to.
I have been with the same teacher all year. She has provided me with so much guidance. She's been there through everything. She gives me feedback on all of my lessons.
We always discuss things ahead of time, and lessons, and how to deal with classroom management, how to prepare the materials, what questions to ask kids.
When a student would give a correct answer and you would encourage them, they would tell you that the student really lit up, that you said, "Great job, good answer." When your directions were not as clear and students stumbled a little, they would give you suggestions, maybe that you want to break down the directions in a simpler order.
I wish I had had that experience when I was a student teacher. I never had as many observations in the classroom and as much feedback and meeting time.
We're treated as faculty. We're treated as mentors to the children. We're treated as friends. We're treated as full-fledged colleagues. To be so welcomed into the community of the school was something that I wasn't ready for, was something that I didn't know was part of the deal when I signed on. And I was so blessed to be a part of that, and to have the school look at me and appreciate me for what I'm doing.
I think a good match for this program would really depend on the person's learning style. And if they're the type of person that really wants to roll up their sleeves and get involved from everything, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, soup to nuts, this is the program to do.
Just pick out your favorite one.
This is a very intense program. It is a year long. So going into it, you have to understand that you are going to be doing everything in 1 year. We have school full time, and I also have classes outside of school here at Hillside and at Lesley. It's a lot of work.
All I've done for the last 9 months is teach. And every weekend I've gotten prepared to teach again on Monday. And every evening I've talked about teaching to my cohort members and my friends and my family. I feel like everyone's just like, wow, this kid is a teacher. And I wasn't a teacher before I left, but I'm going home a teacher.
Boys and girls, it is now
almost getting trained how to multitask, which you have to do as a teacher anyway. You have to do so many different things. Hopefully these skills on time management can go into next year when I begin my teaching.
And one thing that I've noticed
You're not coming in all by yourself. You have a cohort of other students that are here with you.
The cohort was a wonderful support because everyone was in the same boat. Everyone was going through the same thing together, even though it was in different classrooms and at different grade levels. This was a new experience for everyone.
The group of individuals that I work with aren't just my classmates. They're my 9 new best friends. I see them every day for an entire year. We share the exact same incredibly busy schedules, and we need each other for support. We use each other for support. We all learn together, and then we go to our separate classrooms, and we teach in our own unique ways. And then the next day we get to come back together and share our experiences. And getting those different experiences from all those different teachers helps me come up with more ideas and gives me different viewpoints of how I may teach a lesson, of how I may help a child.
One of the great things about our collaborative internship programs is that we have enough different types of programs that we provide options for people to enter in whatever program is most appropriate for them. So not only do we have some in public schools and private schools, we also have some that prepare teachers who are in early childhood, elementary, middle school, and also in special ed in both moderate and severe disabilities.
I was not here in the United States, so I was in Japan searching for a program that would fit to my needs. And I was looking for something very practical, but at the same time I can still learn about the theories and foundations of special education. And as I was looking through the website of Lesley, I just felt this was really the program for me because it had a practicum part, it was really very rich practicum part, and then the foundation was there to begin with.
I think collaborative interns are prepared to teach in almost any setting because they've had such an extended experience with what they're doing.
I started off as an intern in the Hillside program and was then hired the next year as a teaching assistant. So I had already met with students, I was familiar with the staff and with parents, and then the year after was hired as a 4th grade teacher.
I'm able to get feedback from principals, from heads of schools that say when they get into the classroom, they know what to do from day one on. How long do they stay in the schools? And how long do they stay in the profession? I see people staying in for 5 years, 10 years, even going on to administration, heading their own schools, starting their own schools.
I know that when I get out into the teaching world and have my own classroom, I'm going to have so many things that I'm going to learn. But I know that I am now ready to be there and ready to have my own classroom. And this program has gotten me to that point.
Everything I learned about how to set up my classroom and the basic runnings of my classroom, I learned through the collaborative school and my mentoring teachers. It was the best experience, it was the best money I've ever spent by having completed this program.
Be ready. Be ready for a tremendous workload, but an incredible opportunity. This is not something that every school provides. It's not a program that you can find everywhere. This is a special, unique program that Lesley offers through its collaborative sites.
If I was talking to someone that was going to apply to a Lesley collaborative program, I would say to them it was the best decision you could ever make as a future educator. Whether you're going to be in a classroom, if in an after-school program, if you're trying to one day get into an administration or a leadership role, it's the best decision you can make because it's going to be one of the most pure years you have to just learn how to teach. And every educator needs to learn that first. And so I've had a year long to do it, and it hasn't been easy, but the things that I've learned around my cohort members have been priceless.